Hi everyone, welcome to BookCravings. This is the second part of my bookshelf tour. I'd like to start showing you guys my Everyman's Library Classics collection, and they are all cloth bound, cream colored paper, acid free, and the first one that I'm showing you is The Complete Stories by Edgar Allan Poe, which I'm currently reading. The contemporary classics have this scarlet cover. This one is To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf, Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf too. I still have to read this one. Animal Farm by George Orwell. The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. I read this book many years ago. I love it. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. And this is my favorite copy of this collection. This is his Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. Gorgeous edition and amazing story. This one is my last contemporary classic so far. This is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. And now for the pre-Victorian with this dark green color. The first one is Emma by Jane Austen. And the second, Pride and Prejudice, also by Jane Austen, one of my favorites. Next, Liaisons Dangereuses by Cordelos de Laclos. This one is not so famous, but a really nice reading. And now the Victorian in this burgundy color. The first one is Our Mutual Friend by Charles Dickens. It has this cream colored dust jacket. I believe they don't release this style jacket anymore. Next, A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, one of my favorite books. David Copperfield. I haven't read it yet. I look forward to complete my Dickens collection. A Christmas Carol and Other Christmas Books. This one has an introduction by Margaret Atwood. I really recommend it. Oliver Twist. I still have to read it. Great Expectations. And by Herman Melville, Moby-Dick, not my favorite. And possibly my favorite book, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Actually nowadays I'm in love with North and South. Maybe they will split the first place. And last, also by Charlotte Bronte, Villete. Now for the Everyman's Library Children's Classics, let's start with Fairy Tales by Hans Christian Andersen. Peter Pan, one of my favorite children's stories by J.M. Barrie. Next, Cinderella. Lovely edition, lovely illustrations. Jack the Giant Killer, I read this one this year by Richard Doyle. Crazy book, not exactly for children. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Love it. The Swiss Family Robinson, I still have to read it. The Wind in the Willows, I can't wait to read it. The Happy Prince and Other Tales by Oscar Wilde, I've read it and it's amazing. An illustrated edition of A Christmas Carol. Just So Stories by Kipling. The Three Musketeers, I'm anxious to read it, many people love it. And for little children, Daddy Longlegs, fully illustrated. Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. I'm really impressed by Daniel Defoe since I read Mo Flanders, is awesome. Treasure Island. The BFG, also really famous with the original illustrations. Russian Fairy Tales, I haven't read it, The Light in the Forest, another really famous story I haven't read. The Jungle Book, another by Kipling. Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm. At the Back of the North Wind by George MacDonald, the same author of The Princess and the Goblin. Black Beauty by Anna Sewell, very famous, I haven't read it. Little Lord Fauntleroy by Frances Hodgson Burnett, the same author of The Secret Garden, lovely edition. Almost finishing the Everyman Children's Classics, English Fairy Tales, and King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. I used to love it when I was younger. Continue on. Next we have The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen and Alice's Adventure in Wonderland with illustrations by John Tenniel, but the illustrations are black and white. The Blue Section, The Tenant of Windfell Hall and Ladies Chatterley Lover. I figured out these books are printed in acid-free paper, so maybe I'll give it a go. I'll give a chance to this collection. Stardust by Neil Gaiman. The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. This is the Penguin Galaxy collection. Next, one of my favorite classics of all time, The Great Gatsby. Love this cover, it's the original cover, brilliant. Next, the first two books of the Fossier trilogy by Robin Hobb. The first one, Assassin's Apprentice, I have read it, gave it 5 stars. Absolutely brilliant. And the second one, the second 20th anniversary edition, just arrived here at home. Royal Assassin, another gorgeous edition, really high quality. Cream color paper, silver gilded edges, cloth bound. I'm really impressed with the quality of these editions, but they are not inexpensive, on the contrary. Lost at the left, the Book of Literature, an edition, a translation to Portuguese. Here we have the deluxe boxed set of J.R.R. Tolkien. Here we have The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. They are bound in fake leather. The material feels great on the hands. They have these writings and Tolkien symbol embossed on the cover. Cream color paper, not too thin, with the maps. Sewn binding, really nice purchase. Another great deal, in my opinion, this single volume deluxe edition. Here we have The Children of Húrin, a standard hardcover, but with illustrations by Alan Lee. And The Lord of the Rings, a reader's companion. Look forward to reading it. Here I have a Brazilian edition of a biography of Tolkien. So gorgeous. Really beautiful colors, beautiful golden details. I'm really impressed with the beauty. The quality I'm not, but the beauty I am. The Hobbit by Jemima Kathleen, the illustrations made by her are lovely. And another illustrated edition of The Hobbit. This one is illustrated by Alan Lee. Here I have Bilbo's Last Song, a tiny little illustrated book meant for children. But it is lovely. It is lovely. And Tales from the Perilous Realm with Robert Random, Tom Bombadil, and other stories. It has black and white illustrations by Alan Lee. And I also have here a facsimile of the first edition of The Hobbit. A really nice one. The complete Sherlock Holmes. I've shown this Knickerbocker collection to you guys in the previous video, one of my first videos actually. The book, a cover-to-cover exploration of the most powerful object of our time, I guess this is the title. One of my favorite books in the world, Musashi by Eiji Yoshikawa. The Picture of Dorian Gray, a Barnes & Noble collection. Frankenstein, a Brazilian edition, really beautiful. Many red pages, it looks really nice. And the same, this edition, Edgar Allan Poe, Classic Fear, Medo Clássico, another Brazilian edition. And the complete fiction, H.P. Lovecraft, leather-bound, Barnes & Noble. And I've shown this before. I have a collection of A Song of Ice and Fire. These editions are Brazilian. They look good. The quality, I have some, they don't have the best quality in the world. In Brazil, it's really unusual to print in SF paper. I don't know if they are. Here, Charlotte's Web, one of my favorite children's books, Mary Poppins, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Here I have an edition in Portuguese of Bambi, and the Little House series. First book, Little House in the Big Woods. I just finished reading it. Completely amazed, so cute. Farmer Boy, I still have to read this one, and Little House on the Prairie. Little Women, Anne of Green Gables, Heidi, and A Little Princess. They come in this Puffin in Boom collection, this boxed set. And Tisto, The Boy with Green Thumbs, I guess this is the translation, and Children's Classics by Monteiro Lobato, a Brazilian author. Wow, I hope you're enjoying my bookshelf tour. It's a lot of work to film all these books. I still have my 3 videos to film, but so far I'm having fun, and it's nice to remember everything I have on my shelves, to plan my TBRs, and to reassess my priorities. So I guess that's all for today. See ya in the next video. Bye bye.